到了。
我说这脱裤子他。
This is Blind Shaft, directed by Li Yang, the film debut of Wang Baoqiang nearly 20 years ago. Most people have heard of this movie. A few have watched it, but the vast majority missed too many details while viewing it. This work has a high score in China, and it's definitely not just because of the subject matter. So, what kind of story is this? At the crude and dilapidated mine site, accompanied by the whistling wind, the workers get up early to start their shift. This man is named Tang Chaoyang. To his right is his old acquaintance, Song Jinming, and to his left is his little brother. After a quick frisk, they pick up their tools and prepare to head down into the mine for work. This seems like a perfectly normal routine. No one finds any differency. The world underground is dark and oppressive. Looking up at the shaft entrance, that blessed light recedes further and further from sight. The film officially begins. The blood-red title card adds a sense of horror to the existing oppression. Down in the shaft, the three take a break, grab a drink of water, chat, and tell some dirty jokes.
你取救吧，你先玩他麻了吧？哎，你老婆长啥样？
不好看，嘴大。
咦，人家都说最大的女人给床上都可能干呢。哎，你这出来你不怕？
The honest and naive little brother couldn't have imagined that he had already become prey for the two men in front of him.
哎，想不想回家呀？
这不想回家了。
小弟儿，今儿就送你回家，你看咋着？
哥，今儿几号啊？还没开钱呢。
哎，真嘞？
你骗人！
喂，骗你弄啥了？你看。
It turns out the person who was killed was not Tang Chaoyang's real brother. Tang Chaoyang and Song Jinming's scheme to get rich is this. They trick migrant workers traveling alone, pretending to be relatives, and take them to work at small mines. After gaining everyone's trust, they kill the victim underground, faking an industrial accident. These small mines often have almost no proper safety procedures. To keep things quiet, the mine owner has no choice but to pay some compensation to settle privately. This time, they are familiar with the routine and repeat the trick. Tang Chaoyang, the grieving relative, goes all out in front of the mine owner, showing emotional collapse and being completely unreasonable. Meanwhile, Song Jinming, as the fellow villager, is responsible for the rational, objective job of mediating.
我也做不了主嘛。你看我就这吧，你让咱村支书来。咦，我也中。你叫他来啥用？你说那远的路，到时候路上吃来花来，他都得从抚恤金里扣。到时候你说那俩能分多少钱？那分不了多少钱，关键是。钱算个啥？100万也买不来俺弟的命。耶，老唐，那你要都这说，那咱俩没话说了。我也不许说了。不说就不说了。耶，老唐你咋了你？
One plays the bad cop, the other plays the good cop, a clear division of labor and perfect teamwork. The mine owner decides to try to break through via Song Jinming. He offers 20,000 yuan as compensation and asks Song Jinming to persuade Tang Chaoyang. But Song Jinming says Tang Chaoyang has made it clear. 40,000 yuan, not a penny less. A once vibrant life has now turned into a mere bargaining chip in their eyes. You have to know, can someone who runs an illegal mine be a mere lamb? He's a boss, after all. How could two migrant workers outsmart him?
还跟罗子人吗？不行了，给他们办了。
不想活了，不能认奸。
不行了，跟公安局的刘局长跟赵院长打招呼。
拉倒吧。这回没来啊，吃喝还得拿。你谋个10万20万根本打不回来，根本知不知道？是。不到万一别请他们啊！是。
Later, the mine owner finds Song Jinming alone. He gets straight to the point, trying to give him 1,000 yuan, asking him to help persuade Tang Chaoyang. Song Jinming refuses the money, acting very reluctant. Seeing this, the mine owner backs down. I can pay 30,000 yuan, that's it. Before leaving, he adds another 1,000 yuan, a total of 20,000 yuan to Song Jinming. Afterward, the mine owner goes to give Tang Chaoyang the compensation. Tang Chaoyang counts it and says, "Wait, this isn't right. You promised 30,000 yuan, but this is 28,000 yuan." The mine owner replies, "It's not easy for anyone. If you're not satisfied, Do you think my finger is worth 2,000 yuan? If it is, then chop it off. Song Jinming feels awkward. He didn't expect the mine owner to act this at the end. But since he took the money, he doesn't dare to intervene. Under this pressure and persuasion, Tang Chaoyang reluctantly signs the liability waiver. They hit and run, moving on to the next place. In a small motel, the two burn the little brother's ID card. Song Jinming asks, "What about the shoes?" "Don't fool," and pretend to be confused. "Hey, you wanted to wear them?"
我要的是这，给你吧，还不够打一炮呢。你别来这套，一人一半，我可不坏这规矩。你也爽了，拿着吧。你拿着吧，你。对，就你来，拿好啊。
In fact, their relationship started to show cracks right from this incident, laying the groundwork for their future falling out. After dividing the loot, the two go to remit money to their families, carelessly throwing the little brother's ashes into a roadside trash can. After wiring the money, Song Jinming even calls home. Even though he's doing despicable things outside, he doesn't forget to tell his family to save the money and, in his words, is full of concern for his son's school performance. The two stroll along the street. Tang Chaoyang spots a video hall and suggests they go in. Song Jinming refuses, saying, "Why watch that stuff? The 5 yuan ticket is too expensive." The two continue walking. Every time a woman passes by, Tang Chaoyang's eyes snap over to them like a sniper rifle. Just looking isn't enough to satisfy him, so the two go to a karaoke bar. After spending the first half of the night there, they continue the party at a hotel. They arrive in a new city and eat at a small restaurant near the train station. Here, they meet Yuan Fengming, played by Wang Baocheng, a young man who has come to the city for work. 16-year-old Yuan Fengming dropped out of school to work and is completely innocent. He instantly becomes prey in Tang Chaoyang's eyes. Tang Chaoyang seizes the opportunity to approach him, making a direct pitch. He says it's hard to find a job now, but he has a way to make money. Then he feigns hesitation, playing hard to get. Yuan Fengming, a greenhorn, couldn't possibly see through this trick. Tang Chaoyang continues to set the trap. "You can follow me to make a fortune, but you have to pretend to be the nephew of my friend Song." Yuan Fengming doesn't suspect and agrees readily. Tang Chaoyang brings the boy to Song Jinming, who immediately objects. He's just a kid.
那咋不上学了呀？
没钱交学费。
那妈，那爹咋鸡巴当了呀？是学费都不给你交了？
这不怪俺爹，俺爹出去打工挣钱去了，都半年没有回家了。
你看你哭啥嘞？恁爹发财了，你娶了个小老婆，不回来了？
不可能。
多大了
16。
那鸡巴能中？
Remember when Tang Chaoyang voluntarily brought up not breaking the rules when dividing the loot? But that was for small money. Now that big money is within reach. Tang Chaoyang doesn't care about the rules anymore.
你咋回事？你是装了，你还真不想弄？咱不是说好了吗？老大，你别跟我急啊，咱是大老爷们儿，做事得讲规矩不是？啥规矩？你鸡巴弄个小孩，你搁道上还混不混了你？我管他大人小孩，能挣钱就中。哎，你要是没钱，恁孩还不照样出来打工？你可怜他，谁可怜你嘞？反正我觉得不中，你自个儿找吧。
They take Yuan Fengming to a photo studio for a picture. Yuan Fengming, who hasn't seen much of the world, can't even manage a good smile. Different from their previous roles, Song Jinming plays the bad cop towards Yuan Fengming, while Tang Chaoyang shows a gentle side.
哎呀，你看你，还是老实嘛，你越说他越紧张，怎么样？别害怕，笑一点。
Why the contrasting attitudes for them? Because in Song Jinming's heart, he is highly resistant to harming this child, and he can't talk Tang Chaoyang out of it. So the more innocent and simple Yuan Fengming appears, the more helpless, anxious, and angry Song Jinming feels. He desperately wishes Yuan Fengming would disappear, go back to where he came from, just as long as he's not involved in this situation. Tang Chaoyang is different. The more honest and obedient Yuan Fengming acts, the more he feels the lure of money and doesn't want to let this easy target get away. So he can only sweet-talk Yuan Fengming and try to persuade Song Jinming. They drill Yuan Fengming with instructions. From this moment on, kid, your last name isn't Yuan anymore. It's Song. Song Jinming is your second uncle, and you're 18 years old. Then they get Yuan Fengming, a fake ID card, and take a ride to the mining area to look for work. After being rejected a few times, they finally find a job at a mine owned by a boss with a mob-like demeanor.
你们几个先干着，干2天看看，如果行的话，咱们签个合同；如果不行的话，你们收拾你们的行李就给我走人。可是这2天算试工，先不发钱。
老板，怎么能行啊？
这什么这？干就干，不干就给我滚蛋！中国什么都缺，就是不缺人。
哎，老板，干，给点干。您别生气，俺孩儿不会说话。
带他们去，告诉他们咱们这儿的规矩。
好，走吧。
With the job settled, they need to tidy up their accommodation, pasting newspapers onto the walls. When Yuan Fengming looks up, he's captivated by an old poster stuck on the wall. The faded photo can't hide the voluptuous figure leaping out at him. Finally, they go down to work in the mine. A sudden boom startles Yuan Fengming. Song Jinming sees his cowardly reaction and immediately starts yelling at him. Of course, Tang Chaoyang is still on the side, speaking gently, cementing his persona as the loving uncle. When he's not working, Yuan Fengming likes to curl up on the bed and read his history textbook.
怎么样？你搁那看啥嘞？
历史课本，
看那弄啥呀？
可有意思了。
哎呀，那有啥用啊？一离开学校啊，你都回不去了。
谁说啊？俺老师说了，只要是能交上学费，还可以回去上学。
说啥？
还可以上学。
戳你了那是？俺老师也跟我说过，那学校里人家开了，那你想回去都回去了。
In the textbook, Song Jinming sees a family photo. He glances at it and notices something. The father in Yuan Fengming's photo looks similar to the man they killed before, and that man's last name was Yuan. If it's the same family, killing the father and then the son, the Yuan family line would be completely wiped out. Tang Chaoyang doesn't care about the family line. What's it got to do with us? Tang Chaoyang then goes in to confirm and tells Song Jinming, doesn't look alike at all. Don't worry, it's not the same person. One day, the two brothers take Yuan Fengming to the market. They see a little boy begging on the roadside for money to continue his studies. Yuan Fengming borrows a few money from Song Jinming and gives it to the boy. Song Jinming also walks over.
真考上高中啊？
Ever since he saw the poster of the blonde, that blue-eyed beauty, a seed was planted in Yuan Fengming's young heart. He couldn't help but sneak glances at it. His second uncle, Song Jinming, notices all of the young man's pubescent thoughts. The next day, Yuan Fengming is writing a letter, and Song Jinming says he will help mail it. As soon as he steps out, Tang Chaoyang snatches the letter and tears it up.
你弄鸡巴啥了？你这咋了？妈，我还没看呢呀。这有啥看的？那鸡巴我自己不会撕是不是？行，你滚。不是你啥鸡巴意思？你给我说清楚啊！
我没啥意思，
你给我说清楚你啥鸡巴意思？
我没意思。
俺那个你给我说清楚去。
咱把这孩办，他家人按照信上地址找到这儿，咱不就完了？
就鸡巴你能担是不是？
那咱不得抓点紧吗？
这鸡巴不是抓紧不抓紧的事儿，这鸡巴矿长天天派人跟咱一块干活，你没法下手啊你。
那不中咱都把他弄了。
你别急中中啊，咱们能不能等个机会啊？活了。
我是看你对那孩儿有点同情了吧？
他妈我同情他，谁鸡巴同情我呀？这鸡巴不是同情的事儿，我跟你说。我觉得方明这孩活在那连鸡巴女的都没碰过，死路可亏。
这还不容易，找个女的给他开户不就中了？
那这事包给你了。
They take Yuan Fengming to a hair salon, offering special services. As a child, he's never seen such a sight, and runs out, scared.
你说你是咋回事呢？
我咋回事啊，大哥？他俩手捂着那地方，不要我动。
咦，那你这能啥吃了？你都不会想想法儿？我跟你说啊，方明， 你得配合治疗，知道不知道？脱光了搁屋里等着。你要再跑出来，我都不要你，听见没有？去。哎，你别走，你别走。你给你的技术活都拿出来。你要是给他伺候不好，我可不付钱，啊？
俺这可是个童男子。
哎，你咋还站住了？躺那儿。
Finally, Yuan Fengming is forcefully helped by the salon girl, Xiao Hong. The distraught Yuan Fengming angrily walks out of the hair salon. Yuan Fengming is hurt and angry. He feels he has become a bad person. At this moment, Tang Chaoyang and Song Jinming's attitudes toward Yuan Fengming take a reverse turn from before. Now, Song Jinming is the one speaking gently to Yuan Fengming, while Tang Chaoyang is no longer sweet-talking him, but instead scolding and threatening him.
真不知好歹，不活你死去！现在你就往墙上碰，碰吧，死去吧你！
Why did Tang Chaoyang's attitude change? This is a detail worth thinking about. Based on our understanding of Tang Chaoyang's personality, he should naturally be the explosive, cruel, and overbearing one. His previous kindness to Yuan Fengming was the anomaly. Back then, his goal was to keep Yuan Fengming at all costs, because he planned to kill him. And after all this build-up, killing Yuan Fengming is now a foregone conclusion. Tang only spent money to help Yuan Fengming grow up out of respect for Song. This money, for Tang, was spent reluctantly. Now, seeing Yuan Fengming's reaction, it's clear the boy didn't appreciate the gesture. And Tang Chaoyang is furious. He no longer bothers to pretend to be nice. All he can think about is getting the job done quickly and moving on. Back to mine, Yuan Fengming starts to stay away from the two men. During a rest break underground, Yuan Fengming is still being difficult. Tang Chaoyang can't take it anymore. He can't wait. He grabs a tool, ready to strike, but Song Jinming holds him back.
弄啥嘞你？
你说弄啥嘞？你咋不动手嘞？
那鸡巴过2天不中？
为啥？
该发工钱了呀。
那点钱顶个球用，现在是个机会，咱把它弄了再说。
老唐，我跟你说，做事讲规矩，中不中？送行饭吃了没有？还得跟他喝送行酒了呀。
小鸡巴喝啥酒了？
别，那鸡巴喝不喝是他的事儿，让不让喝是咱的事儿，知道不知道？那鸡巴枪毙人还得让人家吃喝了不是？
中，算你会说，那你说咋弄？
我说咋弄？我说过2天再弄。
你要不弄了，
你鸡巴给我弄了中不中？
咱俩谁跟谁呀？我弄你干啥？那中，听你的，过2天啊，过2天。
Song Jinming doesn't know that his angry remark about a couple of days further deepens the hidden rift in their relationship. Even though Yuan Fengming acts stressed and regretful in front of the adults, when he's taking a bath alone, replaying the events of the day is still full of sweet memories. He looks down into the tub and breaks into a bright smile. It is like saying, "Humph, you bad boy." Tang and Song take Yuan Fengming to the market again. First, they help Yuan Fengming remit money to his family. There, Yuan Fengming runs into Xiao Hong, the salon girl, who is also remitting money home. Xiao Hong greets him first, but Yuan Fengming is too shy to even lift his head. Before she leaves, Xiao Hong's hand rests meaningfully on Yuan Fengming's shoulder. This gesture certainly has something behind it. With Xiao Hong's experience, she can naturally tell that Song Jinming is not Yuan Fengming's real second uncle. As people in similar unfortunate circumstances, struggling to make a living, Xiao Hong's touch surely includes a sense of shared sympathy. Combining this with the fact that 2 adults brought a virgin boy to the salon, and Xiao Hong lives in the mining area, she might have heard rumors and figured out the deeper meaning. After remitting the money, the 3 wander around the market, and suddenly Yuan Fengming is gone. Tang and Song are terrified. They search frantically and finally find him. Song Jinming slaps Yuan Fengming repeatedly on the head. Yuan Fengming pitifully holds up a big rooster in his hand. It turns out he had gone to buy a chicken for his uncle. Song Jinming is speechless for a moment and drags Yuan Fengming back. Back at the mine, a group of workers is having a get-together with food and drinks. Tang Chaoyang quickly tries to stop Song Jinming from drinking. Song Jinming dismissively replies with a code they both understand. This is Yuan Fengming's farewell meal. Song Jinming says something that is meant both for Yuan Fengming and himself.
保明啊，哎呀，二叔要有对不住你的地方，可别生二叔的气啊。
Even Tang Chaoyang, who usually doesn't drink, raises his glass and clinks it with Yuan Fengming's. The next day, down in the shaft, Tang Chaoyang is preparing to carry out their plan. Just then, a fellow worker comes over to warn them. The worker looks up and says, Suddenly, Tang Chaoyang grabs a mining drill and smashes the worker, knocking him out.
你搬了它，你能拿出钱？先等我拆了，我就收拾它。
Tang and Song sit down with Yuan Fengming. Tang Chaoyang starts with the familiar line, asking Yuan Fengming if he misses home, and says, I'm sending you home now. Based on their past collaboration, as soon as this line is spoken, the accomplice should strike and kill the person. But this time, Song Jinming shows no sign of moving to strike. Just then, a terrible thing happens. Tang Chaoyang swings a hammer right at Song Jinming's head, then turns his menacing glare toward Yuan Fengming. Luckily, Song was wearing a good helmet, so the blow didn't kill him. Song Jinming gets up and knocks Tang Chaoyang down. Yuan Fengming sees his chance and runs for his life. The worker outside, who's setting up the explosives, sees Yuan Fengming frantically running out and asks, Is everyone out? Yuan doesn't respond or even look back. Then, with a massive boom, Yuan Fengming sees daylight again. Based on the contract, the mine owner gives Yuan Fengming the compensation money 30,000 yuan for each person. Ironically, this money, Yuan Fengming refuses to take it because he knows they aren't actually related. This money isn't his to claim. But the mine owner thinks Yuan is just trying to extort more cash. Finally, Yuan Fengming accepts the money and sends the body for cremation. The camera focuses on the dead man's shoes. These are the same shoes that belong to the victim, the guy surnamed Yuan, whom Tang and Song murdered at the start. Now they are on the current victim's feet, carried into the furnace. The shot cuts between the furnace and a dazed Yuan Fengming outside, and as black smoke rises from the chimney, the film ends. This 2003 film was directed by Li Yang and adapted from Liu Qingbang's novel Shenmue. Liu Qingbang lived in a mining area for 9 years, giving him a deep understanding of the low-income workers' lives. Blind Shaft uses a documentary style to show the hardship of these people and the ever-present dangers they face, immersing the audience in a raw reality. There aren't many characters, but each one is fully developed and well-rounded. Even minor roles, not just a passing mention. Here are some easily missed details from the film. Tang Chaoyang says, It's your turn to cry next time. What does this tell us? It proves their joint crimes were well organized, and that the crying role was a physical chore. Look how convincing their previous performance was. It also shows they had no way out. One mistake could cost them their lives. Tang and Song were partners in crime. So why did they turn on each other at the end? When did the rift start? It actually started right after they killed the first guy, Mr. Yuan. The promised 30,000 compensation was cut to 28,000, and Tang immediately smelled a rat. Later, when Song Jinming pulled a few $100 out of Mr. Yuan's shoe and offered it all to Tang, Tang said, No way, half and half. I can't break the rules. But based on the whole film, does Tang seem like a man who follows the rules? He only cares about money, no matter the target. He has no humanity and no rules. So, his sudden insistence on following the rules was clearly a deliberate warning to Song Jinming. When Tang divided the money, Song reached out, but Tang just threw the cash onto the bed. This was another way for him to express his anger. Tang also noticed a change in Song after they met Yuan Fengming. Song seemed to have lost his ruthlessness and was becoming soft. At the mine, Song bought a safety helmet for Yuan Fengming. Tang immediately used this to mock him. Your uncle has plenty of money. Why spend $100 on this? Better to get something for your kid. The meaning was clear. Tang felt Song was going soft, getting saintly, and wasn't the cold-blooded killer he used to be. As time passed, Tang Chaoyang thought it was the perfect moment, but Song Jinming kept delaying. Tang was getting extremely frustrated. Not following through wouldn't just mean losing this one payday. It would threaten their future partnership. The ruthless Tang saw Song Jinming as a ticking time bomb that could go off at any moment. That's why Tang suddenly hit the co-worker underground. It was partly self-preservation, but mainly to intimidate Song Jinming. After all, the co-worker was only a small threat. No need to kill. Yet, Tang chose to kill, adding the line, "I'll kill anyone who blocks my way to money." This was the final warning to Song Jinming. So, their relationship was cracking from the very beginning. To the ending, their mutual betrayal shouldn't be surprising. The film's main plot is their scheme to kill, fake an accident, and claim compensation. But there's a hidden theme: education. Song Jinming couldn't go to school, but he highly valued it. That's why he repeatedly told his family on the phone to make sure his child studied well. They met Yuan Fengming because he also couldn't afford school and was forced to work, and he deeply longed to go back and study. Both Yuan and Song even gave money to a boy begging on the street who couldn't afford school. In contrast, Tang Chaoyang showed little regard for education, even for his own child. This helps us understand the difference in how Tang and Song treated Yuan Fengming. This film masterfully dissects human nature and ruthlessly exposes reality. If your eyes are blind, you don't fear the dark. If your heart is blind, you don't respect the law. As laws improve and education spreads, these types of crimes are decreasing. But this doesn't mean we should stop guarding against evil. Good is spread, but evil also evolves. So, never have the heart to harm others, but always be prepared to guard against them. If you like this kind of content, want to know more Chinese life and show, please subscribe my channel. See you next time.